Spokane, Washington, in the northwestern part of the U.S. You just got through looking at the downtown area and the beautiful Spokane Falls. Pretty cool place for a shooting range, I'd say. And actually, that's right where we're at. We're at the Spokane Rifle Club, a frequent haunt of mine. I've put a lot of lead down range at this range, and it does sit directly alongside this beautiful Spokane River. Not so beautiful on that far bank, just because a forest fire years ago burnt the living crap out of it, and as you can see, it has not grown back. But here we are. It's kind of a gray winter's day. I was hoping to get here earlier, and the reason why is this is where I'm going to do the shooting portion of the Kel-Tec PF-9 9mm pistol. We're going to go use their indoor facility. That's it over there. Yep, right alongside the Spokane River. Great place to go ring it out. Hopefully there's not a lot of dudes in there making a lot of rackets so you can't hear me. Let's go shoot. Okay, there's the Kel-Tec PF-9 chamber open. We'll be breaking it in and firing it on loan from the user for this review by Nutnfancy. Shooting Blazer 115 grain FMJs. Off on the side there is a Walther P22. I might get to that if we have time. This is the inside of the Spokane Rifle Club indoor range, and it's a state-of-the-art facility. Excellent ventilation in here. They're going to be doing some small bore shooting down on those lanes, so pardon me if there's a little bit of extra gunfire. That's going to be the downside of me reviewing in a place like this. It's going to be maybe a little bit louder, so apologize for that. And also, I can't really rapid fire. That's part of the range rules. We're going to break the gun in, see what it does accuracy-wise, and I'll tell you what my shooting impressions are. It'll probably jam just like most Kel-Tecs do within the first 100 rounds until it's broken in. Initial impressions of the Kel-Tec PF-9 are favorable. You got to get used to that long trigger. It's a double action only trigger pull. I am using the first pad of my index finger to actuate the trigger. That seems to work better to stage it. I call it staging. Pretty darn accurate on that last set. I was kind of compensating and shooting it to the right. It does recoil quite a bit for such a lightweight 9mm pistol. That's to be expected. Sorry if I'm yelling, it's loud in here. It is a shooting range. Let's do some more target. That mag release, and the mag release came down to my thumb. Yet another problem you got to be careful of with the Kel-Tec pistol. Don't actuate the mag release. Alright, that was this round. Let's see how we did. That's the round I just shot in the lower right. We'll take a closer look in just a second. Okay, this is at 7 yards from the rest. This is the Kel-Tec PF-9. With 115 grain full metal jacket blazer brass. Pretty darn good. In all honesty, I was aiming right about here to compensate for my own. Here's some other ones. I reversed the target so I'm always shooting low. because after you don't want to shoot high because it'll go into the top of the bullet trap. So I always flip the target around. That's why it's like this. There's another group, same distance, 7 yards from a rest. Same. The accuracy's pretty good. Try a few rounds at 15 yards, see what it looks like. Okay, Kel-Tec PF-9, that's 15 yards from a rest. Not overly impressive, but keep in mind it's a very small, lightweight pistol with a double action only trigger. So a lot of that could be me and not the gun. I think it's more than adequate at 15 yards, and that's probably the max distance it's done for. Now I'm going to just do a few rounds standing up. I'll shoot probably this target up here. Maybe that one. Let's see how it does. And I'll do that at 7 yards. Okay, back in my controlled environment to end this shooting review of the Kel-Tec PF-9 9mm semi-automatic pistol. Man, I tried to shoot this segment of the video several times at the range, but it's just too loud. They had a small bore team shooting, and you just can't hear me. So I'll end it in this way, and it's really better because we can talk and you can actually hear me. I probably won't go to ranges too often to do my reviews. One, it costs me money to go there and pay the fee to shoot. Secondly, I have to make the time and drive time to go there. And it's loud, you can't hear me. There's a lot of background noise with the fans and the other gunfire. And then also I just can't shoot the way I want to shoot. I might want to rapid fire to cycle the gun and see how it performs. I can do that in the Nutnfancy Tactical Clinic, the place I've shown you guys before, and I'll probably use that in the future, not so much the gun ranges, but it was fun doing something different, and Spokane Rifle Club is an excellent facility, really state of the art, that indoor range, and I sure appreciate them working with me that night. Okay, shooting impressions of the PF-9. I'm going to say that it's an excellent choice in a concealed carry weapon, no doubt. I'm trying not to bleed over into my tabletop review of it. There will be some redundancy, but suffice it to say, it's a very high value and reliable option as a concealed carry gun. Now, I went through 100 rounds of full metal jacket, the Blazer 115 grain brass version, not the aluminum case, which is also excellent. And then I did about 20 rounds is all of the 115 grain jacketed hollow point aluminum case, which is, by the way, is an outstanding personal defense load. Even though it is standard pressure, it's very lightweight in carry. Yes, I'll make an ammo video, applying common sense to the concept. Stay tuned. It'll take me a little bit to free up schedule time. Now, I say it's reliable, but there were 2 stoppages in this 100 rounds of FMJ. I didn't show them because, by the way, thanks to Mrs. Nutnfancy for helping me film. Yeah, you didn't know she was out there, did you? She did a great job. There were some videos, the fuzziness of it just didn't work out, so I edited those out. But 2 stoppages in 100 rounds during the break-in period of the gun, which is pretty much what the manual says. To feel comfortable carrying the gun, I'd probably cycle through another 100 FMJ rounds, so 2 more boxes. Then I would give it a thorough cleaning, well, actually, before I did that, I'd probably go through maybe at least a box of my chosen defensive load, my hollow point rounds, and then maybe 2 boxes, depending on how much money you got. And then I would probably feel comfortable carrying it. I know ammo's expensive, but if you're going to carry a gun that you're going to bet your life on, you kind of need to make sure that it's going to cycle your load, and I do just that. Lots to talk about, and I'm going to try to hurry because I don't want to make it too long. The shooting impression of the PF-9 overall, excellent. However, it is probably not a super easy gun to shoot for most people. If you were to take an inexperienced pistol shooter out on the range like I was doing, you'd probably see them having a very difficult time to put rounds on target. One, they would have to get past the trigger. By the way, I have a snap cap in here for demonstration purposes because we have to show how the trigger works. That is a long double action only trigger, and your shooter or you're going to have to get used to that. It's like a revolver, very much like a revolver. But you know what? The car PM9, PM40 trigger is the same way. And I find that staging it, like pulling it like that, and then your last third of travel I take time with is critical. So get used to the trigger. Also, it's a very compact gun. That is good when you're carrying it. When you're firing it, it's not so good. Compact guns, like I said in my Jetfire review, the little Beretta Jetfire, they're hard to shoot accurately. Truth be told, if you don't think so, then go out and fire it and you'll see what I'm talking about. Try to fire it at 15 yards. From standing position, a small gun like this, good luck. Post your video. It's hard because they're so small, they're so lightweight, they tend to wander unless you have very good breath control and very good trigger control. And that takes skill, that takes practice. And once you get it down, you'll find that your groups will tighten up, but it doesn't come automatically. So not super easy. Also, they're going to have to get past the recoil. The gun recoils a lot. You saw it snap quite substantially. It's a snappy gun to fire. I wouldn't say it's super pleasant, nor would I say it's punishing. It's definitely not punishing, but it's snappy. Part of that is the higher bore axis on the PF-9. It's probably a little bit higher than the car PM-9. Let's make sure I didn't interchange the names. So that gives it kind of a bigger moment arm for recoil, and then it's just a lightweight gun in a 9mm chambering. So put those two things together, and yeah, it's going to recoil a little bit. But no big deal. Come back on target. You can train that way. Some female shooters, some new shooters may not care for that. And you might have to go with a smaller chambering, depending on who the individual is and what they can take. If you're going to buy this gun for your wife, by the way, which is an excellent choice, but I highly recommend you probably don't take her out shooting this gun for her first shooting experience. That's unwise. It's just too snappy. Have her shoot some 22s. Let her get used to regular trigger pulls, maybe the Walther P22 if you can find one of those, and then slowly step up to a harder recoiling. And I say harder because it's going to be hard. It's going to be more snappy for her to fire. Otherwise, if you put her right into this type of gun, she may not like it. And guess what? If she doesn't like it, she's not going to carry it. And you've just defeated your whole process for CCW, CCP. Okay, enough of that. You saw that I actuated this magazine release. This is a common problem in the PF-9. A lot of users report that. And that is your thumb during the shooting sequence just happens to go down there, barely hits that mag release, and that's what happened in my firing sequence as I showed you. And guess what? Now I don't have a round in the chamber. I pull the trigger, nothing happens, and I go through a tap rack bang drill to clear it, and that was my own fault. That takes practice, and practice in dry firing, that you make sure that your motor or your muscle memory always grasp that gun in such a fashion that you do not interfere with that magazine release. In some ways, I'm wondering if the clip-mounted mag release in these little Kel-Tecs would be an improvement. As much as we like them here, that's like the several times that's happened to me on these little Kel-Tecs that I accidentally, actuated the mag release. Be advised. I thought the sharp corners on this metal mag release, this is a newer Kel-Tec PF-9 that has the metal magazine release. I thought it'd be a problem, but I didn't notice it. Nor did I notice any sharp edges in firing, which kind of surprised me, because holding the gun, I said, that might be a sharp edge. Didn't notice it. I'll talk more to the ergonomics in the tabletop. The sight picture was fine. I didn't mind that at all, and it worked nicely. When I upgraded, or I changed those targets over the circle targets versus those silly diamond targets, not sure why I used those right off, my groups tightened. It's really hard to get a good consistent sight picture on those diamonds with a short, open-sighted pistol. It just didn't work so good. So I should have been shooting the circles right off, and you can see how it helped a lot. Fun gun though, I love it. I talked about the stoppages, and I wouldn't worry too much about that. That's pretty standard for the Kel-Tec PF-9. I know I'm forgetting something, but overall, for the money you're going to pay, an excellent choice. Definitely an alternative, possibly, to the very much more expensive, if you can say that, Car PM9, PM40 series. I mean, this gun will come in under $300 mostly, and that's half the price of a PM9. And it's just as comfortable, almost as small, very thin in carry, and man, it's a great gun. This is Nutnfancy. Thanks for watching. That's a shooting review of the Kel-Tec PF-9. It's kind of fun going somewhere different. And watch for the tabletop review coming at you. Signing off. Thanks for the good ratings. I wish I could answer all the emails. I'm just so freaking maxed out. It's not even funny. Peace.